What is up, everyone? Welcome to Family Hot Dish. This one's going to be a little bit of a different video. This one's just going to be me talking about some things and just how it's going on our journey of selling our house, why we want to sell our house, what that means, just, honestly, just what's going on with why we're doing it. So if you've been following us or have for a while, you can know why we're doing it. So let's get right into it. Well, there are so many reasons why. The main reason, number one reason, financial gain. We've been into being smart financially for, let's say, 9 years now. Just delegating our money, having a budget. We have ups and downs though. For a little bit just now we weren't doing as good, but still we got our money up. But here's the thing. We've always wanted no mortgage. But we ended up staying, okay, here, let me just tell you our journey of financial, like just homeowning, apartments. I'm not going to go through literally every little detail, okay? But here's how it went. Me and Sarah met. I was 19. She was 22, right? Now, from that point until, let's just go from 19 years old to 24. Because at 24 is when I got sober. We just bounced around apartments, pretty much that game, being youngins, That's pretty much all I need to say in a nutshell. You know what I mean. Just inconsistent. So, after we bounced around a lot to different apartments and stuff, and then I got sober at 24. That's when everything changed. I got a lot more serious. We had our first baby on the way. Now we have 5 kids total. But after we had that baby, as Sarah always talks about it, something changed in me. A complete 180. I said, okay, now I'm going to go get a job. Because I always had jobs, but on and off. You know what I mean? But finally I was like, you know what? I'm going to go get a good job. I'm going to do my thing. I'm not messing around anymore. Now, obviously, there were still ups and downs with that, but it was mainly all ups. Honestly. So what we did was, we were still living in that apartment when I first got sober. It was the apartment we probably lived in the longest out of all of them, right? And then as we were living there, then we tried to move out to St. Cloud. If you're from Minnesota, you know where that is. I wasn't on the lease because I have reasons why it's hard for me to be on leases. So, and you can get that, felon. So, whatever. Didn't work out. Had to leave. We didn't even attempt to try because also, no offense towards St. Cloud. If you're from there and love that place, not our style. Not our style at all. So anyways, we leave there. We go and stay at my wife's mom's house, which, like I said, I'm in recovery, and there was some stuff going on there that's not the best for when you're in recovery. Now, I wasn't tempted or anything because I had seen, for a better term, seen the light. I had a spiritual awakening, so I just I wasn't tempted. It just sucked being around. Anyways, so we saved up, put it down on a trailer to own it or whatever, with lot rent and whatever. So did that for a while. And then, after a couple of years of being consistent with that and just living our life, we were like, hey, randomly, let's move to Florida. So then we went to Florida. I was like 4 or 5 years sober, whatever I was. I'll probably be a little off with some of my numbers, but anyways, we moved to Florida. A couple of years, had fun. It was awesome. Had Disney passes, went on a cruise. Did a lot of the fun Florida things. Then my mom was getting older, and my mom unfortunately died a couple months back. I don't even know how many months, because that's how I feel. I just don't even know. I think 6 months. She went through some health problems, but we were here a couple years before it happened, and I kept telling my wife, I gotta get back home. My mom's getting older. And my wife would say, she's only 60 something, you know, and I'm like, no, that's pretty old. Time to get home. And well, I was right. So I'm glad we did that. Had a couple years here with my mom. And anyway, so we came back, and this time, after coming back from Florida, we stayed with my mom. And trust me, we wanted to get out of there. Not the exact same reasons of what were going on, but it was just, you know how it is when you're living with people, especially family. It's just, weirdly enough, you get on each other's nerves and it just doesn't work out, and there's not enough space, you know, the whole thing, right? So our son Kason was going to the school that we live in, and me and Sarah actually grew up here, so I didn't want to stay. And then she was like, oh, we've switched him to so many schools, and I was understanding, because I do get that, but I didn't want to stay, like, at all in this town, or these towns, whatever you want to say, this area, because I've been around it my whole life. The main reason I lived in several places too was either being locked up, or when we were doing our apartment jumping. I mean, not saying I didn't get around, you know, back in the day, but it was not where I wanted to live. Anyways, back to it. The 19-year-old's dropped off by his buddies, the oldest. We have 19. We have 19. I probably get their ages right. 9, 7, 3, and 1. That little one's 1. But anyway, so. Oh yeah, where I left off was, I didn't want to stay here. I was like, dude, no, let's pick somewhere else. You know, and she's like, oh, he's going to school here, and we switch him schools all the time. I get it. And the thing is, I see he has a lot of buddies now. But what was crazy is we were only living here, seriously, like, back in Minnesota a couple months. And, oh, I forgot to say, though, when we moved from Florida, we sold our house and made, I think it's $90K, I believe, or 70. So, but that wasn't our only financial gain. We had, I don't know the exact number, but tens of thousands of dollars besides that from saving. And the only reason I'm telling this story is not about ego. It's just, just if people are ever curious, they can hear this and maybe learn from it or do it that way too. No, see, we don't judge people, but we're totally not with the whole, you know, lease to own shit, lease this. I don't know, people always talk about you need credit. To be flat out honest with you, when I first started this journey, I didn't really have credit. We just threw cash at fucking apartments and it worked, you know? I'm just saying, because I hear people, they were telling, there's coworkers that were telling my 19-year-old, you need credit. He can't get a house. He can't do that. Dude, when I put $10,000 down on a place, but this one we put down, I think, $50,000. That's why now, though, I'm saying we can sell it and then buy something outright for like $200K. That's why that is the big motivating factor on why we want to sell and move. Is financial gain. I had to go back and see where it's at. See, my little one, he loves my power tools, so he gets mad when I take them away. But anyways, so the financial gain is the main reason. No, here's another reason. Big reason. We're country folk. Obviously, I've lived in the cities as well, and I've been around the cities, so we are mixed. Now, where we live at right now is Big Lake, Minnesota. That's central. That's 45 minutes from Minneapolis, right? Now, it's country enough because there's country parts and there's more in-town parts, and then there's cities that are like littler cities around here, suburbs. Here's an example. So we were bidding on a pontoon that we wanted. My wife's bidding on it, and then I go, well, where are we going to put it, right? She goes, on the side of the house or in the yard. I'm like, that would look ridiculous. And it just, who knows with the codes and, you know, all the rules, like, if that's allowed type shit. And that's when that was when we too were like, dude, we need to move to the country. Because we're more country people, you know what I mean? So that was another big thing. So, okay, going down the list, yeah, realizing, like, dude, we can't even fucking really have a pontoon on our property. Like, if we had, like, an acre or two or a couple acres, you know, having a pontoon wouldn't be a question. We would just get it, you know, or be able to have it. Now, so with having our expendable funds that we have in four-wheeler. We did have a four-wheeler at one point when we lived in a trailer park, and that was sort of pointless, too. So we sold it, our kids sold it. So anyways, fast forward. So those are big reasons. Pretty much all I like to do is fish and go outdoors. So it's like, you know, seems like living in the country with a cheaper house and buying it outright and having all this expendable money would be the better bet. Gosh, all he does is live to mess things up. So anyways, the reason I'm doing this video today, I've been cleaning the house. The last vlog was us doing more to the bathroom. That's the only thing. It has been harder though with having so many kids to get your house ready to sell. Like when we just had the 3 kids in Florida and it was really just 2 toddlers and an older one, it wasn't as hard, but now it is hard to get this house in order to what we want. But anyways, that's the reason that we're really wanting to move, and we want personal space. Like we grew up in this town, there's so many people that know us. In this area, so many people know us. It's like, sometimes that sucks, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and had grown up here, that's just boring. Both of us grew up here substantially, you know, of our childhood. So it's just, you know, there's not really much adventure to it. My big YouTube channel, Seth LeRoy Adventures. And that's what I mean, I'm all about adventures, but when it gets to, it's became dull. I love my fishing spots. If you watch my other channel, Seth LeRoy Adventures, you'd see, like, I do well at my fishing spots, and they're beautiful spots, but it's just, there's no adventure vibe anymore. You know, we know everything around here. Like, I'm talking everything. Like, when I'm saying everything, we know everything in this area. In the surrounding towns, you know what I mean? Like, it's to the point where it's just like, oh, what do you want to do? I don't know, there's nothing almost new that we can do. So that's another big factor. Gosh, my shirt's dirty from fishing and cleaning day. Holy crap. Probably throw it in the wash. But anyways, that's it for this one. It's all I really got on this one. Because now I got to get off here and I got to super clean. I did the outside good enough in my eyes. I just wanted it good enough to where, you know, it was good enough. Jeez. Can't even fucking talk it straight. Now I just noticed on here, I would like to, I'll push this over here, grab this thing, even though it's a little icky, put it on there. I'll grab this and this. And I'll just do this for now. But yeah, like we have a trailer too, and it sits right on that one side. You get what I'm saying? And that was the only spot we could even find for it. You know, he said no. And like that's as country as we can be right now. You know, and it barely fits in on our property. And I'm not hating on our property. If you've been following us, good Lord. Look at our beautiful yard though. We fenced it in, and that's a good thing I can bring up actually. We fenced it in so we could have personal boundaries. Because we're not with this whole, and like when neighbors, like I'm not hating on them, we actually lucked out and we have pretty decent neighbors. But when they want to like talk and shit, or, oh, do you know what they're doing with that house over there? Is that guy selling or whatever? And I'll look at them like, dude, I don't know. I stick to myself, dude. I don't want to know what you're doing. As long as you're cool, you know, I don't got a problem. Keep your dog on a leash. I was attacked by a Rottweiler about a year ago, and I'm not good with dogs anymore. But anyways, you get where all those reasons are the reasons. Now, for the 19-year-old, it was a little weird because I know he did just break up with his girlfriend he was with for like a year and a half or whatever, but that was good that he broke up with her because not like I'm wishing that on her or him. It's just more, you know, makes me feel less bad. But the thing is, we stayed in this little town that I did not want to live in for him to graduate school or to stay in school his last 4 or 5 years. But did my part. The little ones, Rowan, this is Holden. He's homeschooled since he's diagnosed type 1 diabetes about 9 months ago or whatever. So Sarah's going to actually homeschool Everly as well this year while we're doing our whole health situation. Then she'll get to be enrolled into school again. Rowan still, I think, wants to be homeschooled. But I think when he gets older, he'll want to go in, but we'll see. He loves his VR and his gaming, but yeah, so that's sort of the deal. That's why... all the reasons why we want to move. And like I said, though, I'm a manager, shipping and receiving manager at this place that I'm at, but they're not showing a potential of like a higher earning level. You know, like they promised me a raise, they never did it. And like I'm not playing those games, so that's another reason why I don't want to have a mortgage. And now Payson, our 19-year-old, he has been working since he was 14. He was actually a manager of Little Caesars even at one point at 15 or 16, whatever. I'm just saying his work ethic's good too, but he's seeing why we want to do it now, because now that he's older, I had to really break it down to him why I don't want a mortgage. Because at first you could tell he was just more like, I don't want to leave my friends, you know. And it's like, yeah, at 23 you're not even going to know these dudes. You might here and there throw a message at him and say, how you been, freaking Ryan or whatever. So I'm going to end this one here real quick. Yeah, so I'm sure you understand. And I mean, frankly, obviously, I don't care if you understand. But I did want to break it down because if you're someone who is following us, I don't have a lot of people that are actively watching my channel, but maybe you're someone who started watching us, and then you want to see sort of our financial / moving journey, and it interests you. That's why. So be smart with your finances so you can live the way you want to. And that's why we're doing this. We sit here and we work so hard to get where we're at. And it's like, and then what do we have to show for it? Yeah, a nice house. I like this house too, but it's not worth that without having that financial freedom. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine. Just glad you stuck along. So those are all the reasons. Everybody have a good one. Stay close to your family. I'm going to wash this shirt, get a different shirt on so I'm not homeless. And I got to clean this house because our realtor's coming to estimate what he thinks it's worth. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.